And welcome back to Daytime, and welcome back to our special World Cancer Day edition of the program. We just talked to Matthew Maitland, who is a member of the Research Information Outreach Team, or RIOT. This is a volunteer group. These are researchers who have gotten together, who understand the importance of making sure that the work they do isn't just kept within the research community. It's spread and passed along to members of our community. So we understand what they're doing. We understand where the progress is being made. We understand what the challenges are. I thought Matthew did a great job of explaining what he's doing. And as part of that, as part of this RIOT team and trying to reach out into the community, Rogers TV has been busy preparing a series of videos of the researchers and talking about the research they're doing and the kind of progress they're making in fighting cancer. And as Matthew said, we may be within 5 years of some really significant changes. So what we've done is we've put together a little montage of some of the researchers that are on the RIOT team, and we asked them this question: what do they want you to know about cancer? It's a simple question, but a really important one, and it forces them to think a little bit about what's the one thing that you need to know. So let's have a look at that now.
One thing that I would like people to know about cancer is something that's pretty general, and it's that in this day and age, with the accessibility of the internet and social media, there's the potential for a lot of misinformation to make its way into everyone's homes and lives. So I think for people to remain diligent and kind of question the information that they're presented on a day-to-day basis can really improve kind of the quality of information and really the level of understanding that people can have about issues, and cancer included.
The general message that I want to emphasize is that the cancer research community is so huge, because cancer is not just one disease. There's so many different manifestations, and everyone's cancer journey looks different. And so that leads to so many different research avenues, and it's not restricted just to treatment. There's also research in prevention and in quality of life after treatment. And so all of these aspects of research work together, and it really makes a complex research community.
I think that it's important to not, believe everything. This is true for a lot of things, but not to believe everything you read or everything you hear.
Cancer, it's not just one disease, it's multiple diseases, and that's why it's been so difficult to treat, and there's not really maybe one magic bullet that's going to cure the disease, but there's a lot of things that go into it. And so that's why it's so important that we have all the resources that we can to solve this problem.
If you're touched by cancer, you want to stay strong mentally, you want to stay strong physically as much as you can, because now we know that actually your own immune system can defeat cancer, and you want to give your own body a chance. That's why you want to stay strong.
There's always a general perception that there's a cure for cancer that exists, but people just don't want to release it, or people just don't want to let it go out because they want to make money out of it. And I guess that's a major misconception, because cancer is, not, and that's one of the things I learned that makes me really appreciate this field, is that cancer is just not one disease. God forbid, if you have a cancer and I have a cancer and it's the same type, your specific treatment could be drastically different from mine because of the heterogeneity of cancer.
Cancer is a very complex disease, so it's more than just one type of cancer. So let's say you have ovarian cancer. Not everyone has the same mutational spectrum. Most of them are very unique, and even within an individual, different cells can have different mutations. So when you're treating it, you can't just pick one treatment for everyone that has, in my example, ovarian cancer. You have to pick a treatment that's catered to the individual. So I think it's important to know that cancer is very complex, and that's why there's such a tough time with finding treatments that work well.
Everybody knows it's a devastating diagnosis, but this field is always progressing. There's always new developments, there's always breakthroughs, and it's all about the people working together in order to drive the field forward. But in addition to that, it's not just the researchers that make a difference. It's all the people in the community that are raising awareness and raising funds to help drive the research forward. And it's everybody that makes a big difference in helping improve outcomes for patients from year to year.
Eventually, I think that the general public will inherit the optimism that we have as researchers. And what I mean by that is that we are the first to learn of a new discovery with respect to diagnostics, prognostics, and therapeutics. And oftentimes these discoveries are limited to academic publications, but there are exceptional times where these discoveries are translated to the clinic. And sometimes it's either within the context of pharma or within the context of biotech, but eventually they do reach patients. So that's what I would want people to know, is that your funding, your public support does matter, it does make a difference, and eventually it does reach everyone beyond just the academic community.
So exciting to see young researchers being optimistic and hopeful about what's going to happen in the not too distant future. Professor Carol Sikora used to be the head of the World Health Organization Cancer Program. He said in a recent article that because of advances in genetics, doctors will soon be able to prescribe drugs that are specifically targeted at each individual's cancer. He says an effective cure is what this will be. He says it's going to turn it into a long-term chronic disease that can be managed. It's no longer going to be a death sentence, and that could be within the next 5 years. So that's really exciting. I just want to thank all of our guests today. Angie Woodcock for organizing the guests that came in, and really specifically I'd like to mention Willa Burgess, 86 years old, 5 years dealing with cancer, and just still optimistic and upbeat, and that's what you need to be. Thanks for joining us for this show. We'll be back again on Monday.